Hi, Raven here. Just before we get started, if you find this video useful or you just enjoyed watching, then please consider giving it a like and subscribing to the channel. And if you wish to support me further, there's a link to my Buy Me a Coffee page in the description. Thanks very much. One last thing, you can now make requests in my Discord channel. There's a link for it on this YouTube channel. Now back to it. I've had a few requests on how to create a custom Arsenal box that can be copied into different missions. So that's what I'm going to cover now. I've also had a specific request to have a vendor and have it pull up the contents of a custom Arsenal box. So I'm going to cover all three. So the first thing we're going to cover is how to customize the Arsenal box, and for that there's two methods. So there's the quick simple method, but it has limitations, and then there's the fully custom method. So what I'm going to do now is show you the quick method. So if we just grab a supply box, we'll use the NATO box, and if we grab ourselves a player, okay, so if we open this supply box, this is absolute default. If we go to equipment storage, you can see, so this icon on the left means show everything, and then you can sort of only show guns and ammo, rifles and ammo, auto rifles, sniper rifles, launchers, etc. So we show everything. This is what it's got in there as default. So what we can do is, if I just copy that, paste that over there, is we can clear this all. So now it's empty, and then we can pick what we want to put in there. So let's go to the rifles, and let's just have a look down here. Say we want to have the MXCs in there. Now as you can see, we've got a plain MXC, we've got one with a red dot, we've got one with a red dot and laser pointer, red dot, laser pointer and suppressor, and laser pointer and a sand suppressor. So let's say we just want to give them a basic one with a red dot. So let's put, I don't know, let's put 5 in there, and of course we want some ammo for it, so let's go back up to the ammo, and there it is there. So we'll give maybe 15, so they've got 3 each, and then we'll go over to the grenades and we'll put in 10 grenades. So let's say we're happy with that. So I'll just show you the difference quickly. So this is the default one, inventory. You can see it's got all this gear in it. And then if we go over to this one, you can see it's got the 5 MXCs in there with the red dot. We've got 15 mags and 10 grenades. Now that's how we customize it quickly. So how we make this available for any mission is you just highlight it, we go over to compositions, custom, and then down here save new custom composition, click on that, and we're going to call it demo Arsenal box. I'll just leave it in other category. You can put it in whatever category you want. Okay to that. So now if we start a new mission, modern again, you see it's completely blank, and what we'll do is other, so demo Arsenal box, we'll just chuck that down there, Go to our guy, rifleman, and we'll play. And as you can see, it's exactly what we've put in there. So that is how you do a custom Arsenal box for multiple missions. But as you can see, it is very limited. So you can only choose from what's in these lists. So if you want something that's really custom, so if you went to your guy and give him, you know, a really decked out gun, so let's say it's Mark 18 and we want a specific scope, so probably the big scope. We want all the bells and whistles, so let's put the pointer on there, let's put the suppressor on there and a bipod on there. So we want that kind of setup, and that includes the whole thing. So get all the gear you want, and then we export it, and that data is copied to clipboard. And then what we'll do is we'll go over to the SQF file in the mission folder, and I'll show you how to do the advanced custom Arsenal box. Right, so I'm in the mission folder. So this is a mission that I've done for a demo. I'll show you the demo mission in a minute, but this is the folder. We've got two SQF files. We've got an init and a custom Arsenal. So I've done _1 because you might want several different types. But just for now, let's open up the init. So the init just says when the mission loads, execute this SQF file. So just run that SQF file basically. So if we close that and we open up the custom Arsenal, so you can see in here I've sort of broke it down into categories for you. The custom Arsenal, so this is what we actually call the box. So I'll show you in a minute. So CA1, so custom Arsenal 1, that's what we call the supply box, or whatever you want to be the Arsenal. So I've broken it down here. So we've got some props, so files, just in case you wanted some props in there for your mission. Items, so GPS, night vision goggles, first aid kit, rangefinder. Obviously you can put in what you want, and that's the code on how to add it. So the bit between the quotation is the item, and the little number at the end is how many. So there'll be 2 GPSs in that box. So I've got here assault rifles, so I'll give 2 different assault rifles there, and as you can see we've got a rifle with a scope and a pointer and a suppressor. So the way this is sort of laid out, if you like, is it's adding a weapon but with all the attachments, and it's laid out in a specific order. So the first bit is the rifle, the second bit between quotations is the suppressor or muzzle attachment. The next one is if you've got any accessories, so in this case we've got the infrared pointer, but you could have the torch. If you don't want anything on there, then you just remove between the quotation and just leave it blank. And then the next one is whatever optic you want on there. Lastly is the mag size. So that's your mag size, and then the 30 is how many rounds in that mag do you want. So do you want it to start with a half empty mag or a full mag? We obviously want it with a full mag, so 30 rounds. And then the next bit here, like in between the quotations that's empty there, that's for a bipod. So you can see down here, this one's got a bipod. and then at the end, that's how many. So that's how many of those weapons there'll be. So I've done 2 different assault rifles, 1 sniper rifle, 1 LMG, 1 pistol, and some spare magazines, some throwables, so hand grenades, smoke shells, chem light, uniforms, vest, backpack, headgear, facewear. So this is how you fully customize your Arsenal box. You can obviously use this. I'll put it in the Dropbox as usual, so you can use this as like a starting template if you like, so you don't have to do all the groundwork, and you just add as much as you want and take away as much as you want. Now I pressed export, so if you, it probably won't do it now. If we go back to our guy there, export, data copy to clipboard, paste. So that is all the information from our guy. So that's the rifle information. So if we wanted another sniper rifle, you just copy that line, and then we just take the bits from it. So there's our muzzle, there's our pointer, our optic, our mag, bipod. It's even got a handgun, so you could add that handgun if you wanted, and all the other bits he's got on him. I won't do that now. What I'll do is I'll show you it actually working in game. So if we cancel that, scenario, open. This is a case of here's one I made earlier. So this is our supply box. If you open it up, you can see it's completely empty. There's nothing in there. But I've called it CA1. So now when we go in, go up to the supply box, and you can see I've got all these custom guns in here, and all the outfits, files, bags, so you can have whatever you want in there, and as much as you want in there. Now the request was how to set up a vendor as well. So we've got this guy here. Now this guy is linked to this box. So I've just shown this box for demo, but you could hide that box so you wouldn't see it, and we just go up to the guy, and you see I've got trade. So if we press spacebar, and you can see all those weapons and gear from the gearbox are now through the vendor. And I'll quickly go through how we do that. Go back to the editor, open up our guy, and it's just this bit of code here. So again, I'll put that in the Dropbox, and I'll put the whole mission in there, so you can just copy and paste that anyway. But if I just go through it quickly, so the first couple of bits, as he's a civilian, I put him as a civilian so that, you know, he doesn't get shot by either faction if you've got 2 different factions on the map. But I've put disable move, so because he's a civilian, if there's some shooting nearby, he'll run away. So he can't run away, and he can't lay down because they sort of tend to take cover if there's some shots about. So make him stand up. So this is the bit here, add action. So trade, that's what pops up. So you can have whatever you want. You can call that vendor if you like, or, you know, weapon vendor if you just want a weapons vendor and a gear vendor. And then player action. So CA1, this is what we call the box. So it's looking up for that box. And then the distance, I'll just leave everything as it is. The only things you need to change, whatever you call your box and whatever you want to call the pop-up. And that's it. So that's how you do a custom box and a vendor in multiple missions. So just a quick little addition. If we, oh, we've still got the vendor selected. If we just open that up, and if we remove that name, and if we give this pickup truck the name, if it actually lets me, thank you. Now if we go in, what we're basically doing is converting that pickup truck into a supply box. So inventory, you can see it's all in there as well. So you can use other things as your supply box. It's pretty handy to have vehicles with certain supplies in. So obviously that script, you would just drop that script into a different mission. That's it. Like I said, I will put this mission and some of these script bits in a little sort of folder on my Dropbox, and a link to it so you can just download it at your leisure and have a play with it. Okay, good luck.